I'm Miriam Joy and welcome to my studio. Today we're going to be doing the recycled holly wreath. And this is recycled cardboard and also green soda bottles. So this is going to be a lot of fun. I really like the look of it. We're going to be leaving the moss out this time. The moss is too hard to put the holly through and I don't like it. The clean look I think will be just a little bit better, so that we are going to change that up a little bit. But let's get started. The first thing I am going to do is I went to the Dollar Tree and I got my floral ring and trace on the inside and the outside on a piece of cardboard. I use poster board, but I really think the cardboard is better and you want that more secure because this isn't quite as strong as we would like it. Now we're going to cut two pieces out, and this is actually for two wreaths, not just one. What we're going to do is we're going to actually put our glue down, and I am using the high setting so I have a little bit more workable time, but I'm going to glue on to my poster board and then set my floral ring inside so my glue won't dry out while we're getting it all on here. And you want to do that fairly quick. Set that right in the middle, and we're going to do both sides. Get that as close to the edge as you can get it without making a mess. You want to do it kind of quickly so it doesn't dry out. Okay, and on the inside. Now what we're going to do is we're going to cut this in half because this is kind of thick. And like I said, it's going to work for two of these. So I'm going to take my bread knife or a serrated knife, and we're going to use it like a saw, and we're going to go right down the middle of this wreath and try to keep it as even as possible. And we're going to turn as we are working. Now, one of the reasons that we go ahead and do the cardboard on the outside is because these are kind of fragile and they can break on you. We just give it so much more support. And we're going to go all the way around here and meet up and just finish bringing it all the way through. Like I'm cracking an egg or something open here. And these kind of make a little bit of a mess. If you have any parts that are real high, just take that and kind of do that. And that's for your other wreath. And this one is for the one you're currently using. Now, to keep the background from showing, we're going to color it the same color that we're going to do our holly leaves. So I'm using a Christmas green, and I'm going to use a sponge, and I wet my sponge and then you want to wring it out so there's no water in it, and then we're going to just go into our Christmas paint, and I've already done the sides and the insides, and if you have any of that white showing from your cardboard or your cardboard showing, color it or cut it so it doesn't show. So we're going to get this into the background here. Alright, so we've got that nice and covered. The great thing is we just made our wreath base for 50 cents. Okay, I'm going to let that dry and then we're going to come on back. While we're waiting for our wreath to dry, we're going to go ahead and start making our leaves from our soda bottles. And it takes 2 to 3 soda bottles. And you could do the clear, but we've already got the green, and the green has such a nice tone to it, it just makes it that much greener. And I've just torn this off, and I'm not even going to worry about using that part of the bottle. But what I did is I made a stencil of a holly, and it's one up, two up and downs, and then one down to meet there. If you have problems with that, need me to send you a little pattern, that's fine too. It's about 2.5 to 3 inches long, and I just take that, and there's a ring around your soda bottles right here, and I'm staying above that ring. We're going to actually use that part of the soda bottle for another project. And when I'm working, I use a grease pencil to trace around it, but I want it to show up a little bit better, so I'm going to use a permanent marker just so you can see. And I do these, I mark my bottles, and at night I sit down and I cut them out while I am watching TV or doing something that I don't have to pay 100% attention to. And we're going to put at least 3 in a row here, and the bottles curve this way, so your leaves are going to get a curvature to them. And it's better to put these on before you cut the bottle off. Now see, there's some writing right there on our bottle. We're going to take our fingernail polish remover, just a tad. Take that right off. Make sure I got that lid on good. And just remove that writing. And then once the writing is done, like that, and just keep on going. Now I'm even going to go into this curvature up here on the bottom. So we have 3. And then I go all the way around till I get back to over here with my holly leaves. Okay, and then we're gonna get these open, and I take my hobby knife, pocket knife would be real good too, and open that up enough that I can get my scissors in there. Remember, we're gonna use the bottoms. We're gonna make the bottom part into poinsettia candle holders. Got another one. Ooh, I'm doing the clear one. It's a great video. How to make it looks like a glass dome. All right, and then I run it right up there. And you can even put a leaf right up there. Just go around it to open it up. Stay away from all those. I haven't quite figured out what to do with this part of the lid yet. I'll figure something out here. Alright. And then we're going to go ahead and start cutting them out. Now if you did them with permanent marker like we just pretended to do it, do underneath the permanent marker so it doesn't show. If you used the grease pencil, just rub it off. I actually rubbed mine off with a little bit of Goo Gone, and it came right off the paper towel. Okay, and you just keep on cutting those off. I figured I needed between 80 and 90 of the holly leaves for each wreath. I know that sounds like a lot, but that's what makes them really nice and pretty. And there are our little leaves. Go ahead and cut those out. And we'll set that down right there. And once you have them all cut out, that starts to go a lot faster. And we're going to take our craft sponge, wet it, and wring that really good so there's no water left in it. And we're going to get into our Christmas green. We're going to pounce the color out so it's not a gob of paint. And we're going to pounce the edges of our leaf. I need my dry board over here. And if you sit down and just work on a table and do these, just set them up uniform, These are going to go really fast now. Doesn't take that long to get through them. Yeah, I've already got 3 done here. Rub my black part off. And I even, where I had a bend in my bottle, I went ahead and used it. By the time you get it colored, you can't even tell. So don't worry about that. And that's the one I just did, so we're not going to use him because he's got the permanent marker on him. Even if you have some black on it, by the time you get the paint on, get everything done, it probably won't show that much. So pounce it off. It doesn't take much paint. We're just doing the edges just like that. Okay. I don't do them on the other side. They're see-through. You've already got the green. You don't need to do them on the other side. Just do them on the one side. That's just enough. All right. Now that we've got that part done, we're going to let that dry. By the time I've usually got that part done, the first batch I've done is usually dry by then, so you can go into your next color. Now we're going to use like a fluorescent green, or on this, they call it a spring green. And we want to just do the middles now. So again, pounce it out. And we're just going to put that right down the middle. Ah, we missed one completely there. Okay, so we've got that down the middle. Once we've got those down the middle, we're going to come back in and we're going to give them that holiday sparkle. I know I talk about it in a lot of my videos. I'm going to use some tacky glue here. And I pick a spot on my leaf where I think they should be top or bottom or whatever. And I take my finger and I'm going to do them like all on the right side bottom, on the left side bottom, just where reflective light, kind of keep it in the same area. And then we're going to come back with our glitter. Do your glitter on a little sheet of paper, so once it's done you can pour it back into the bottle. And my glitter is fine glitter with some bigger pieces of glitter, little octagon pieces, and I really like this glitter. Stupendous or Stampendous has some beautiful glitter. I really like theirs. But I'm a glitter-holic, especially this time of year. Alright, so we've got all of those on our leaves. And then what I do is I spray varnish them. And be careful with the wind if you're doing it. I also did a video how to spray varnish inside during the winter time, so check that out if you need to kind of know how to do that as well. And then once they are dry, we're going to start applying to their wreath. But one of the reasons we want to put the varnish on it, you can see how dull these are and how bright and shiny these are. I put a gloss, Krylon non-yellowing gloss on it, and it also keeps them from getting scratched, and it keeps the paint and the glitter on really well. So that's one advantage to putting this spray. Not only does it look so much better. So we're going to come back and we're going to start applying our holly leaves. Now that we've got the holly leaves varnished, there's one more thing we're going to do, and I think this really distinguishes them from a leaf to a holly leaf. And I'm going to take my permanent green marker. You could do this with paint and then varnish it, but I think this is so much faster. And I'm just putting veins in them. I'm putting that bottom part, the Christmas sparkle, the holiday spirit, at the bottom of my leaves on the same place. And I'm not running through it with my permanent marker. If you do, that's okay. No right or wrong. I'm just going to get these all done now. And I am bringing them into the points, the tips of the holly leaf. So we've got those all done. And we're going to start applying them now. And I decided I wanted to go ahead and do my bow and then work out from it, because you don't want to place it where your bow is. And I was trying to see which bow I really liked better. And I think I'm going to stick with the one that I had. I just really like it with the holly leaves. we're going to just take our pipe cleaner. If you need to know how to tie a bow, there is a video on how to tie a bow that we've done. Let's check it out. And I'm going to wrap that around my wreath, and then I'm going to tie it, and then my little ends I'm going to make a hanging loop so we can hang it. Alright. Now I'm going to trim this guy off just a little. He's a little bit too long there. I just buy my wreaths at the dollar store, Dollar Tree, in their dollar, and they're usually just the right length for these bows. 5 loops on each side. Trying to get that straightened out. Okay, we're going to start putting our holly leaves on now. I'm going to go ahead and also stick some glue up under him. Keep him more attached to the wreath. And I'm going to take my holly leaves and keeping the glitter towards the bottom. This is just tacky glue. And I tried to pour some into a container. We're going to see how well that works here. Can't figure out how I want to adjust it so it's not running away from me. Now, when we're sticking these holly leaves in, we're sticking them in at an angle. And dipping them in our tacky glue. And I did one on top, and then I did 2 underneath it on the next section. And see, if you stick them too tight, they're going to stick straight up, so you want to stick them in at that angle. I'm trying to get this glue on the bottom, not on the top part of my leaf. And I like to do the section all the way around first. And if you don't like working around your bow, take it off. Except for your bow, you're going to want to see where to put your leaves. Now, I'm only going to put one on the inside, and then I'm going to alternate putting these on the outside. So I'm going to go ahead and speed this up so that you're not sitting here watching me put all of these individual ones on. And I will catch you on the other side when I'm starting to get closer to the bow. Alright, as you can see, I've kind of gone around the whole thing, and I didn't go around and stop here. I came and I met. The trick with them is kind of interweaving, one on top of another on another, and it's all kind of done that way. When you're looking at an angle, you see all the holes, but remember, people are going to look at it straight on. So pick it up and look at it. I also took my bow off because I needed something to hold on to, and it was too hard to work with that bow. Take your spare leaves and fill in any holes, but we're also going to fill the holes in with berries as well, so don't forget that. I guess the hardest thing to this whole process is putting your leaves in at a closer angle don't try to stick them straight up and down. You want them more, when you're putting them in, you're almost trying to put them in right with the wreath itself at that angle. I think that's kind of the clue. You don't want them really, really sticking up. And as you can see, I also went and got something to put underneath my wreath that the glue is dripping on as well. And if you're having a hard time with the wreaths or the leaves at all, then just turn your glue gun temp on low and put some of those in too. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead. I would actually let it dry and then put the bow back on. But in the meantime, you can put your little berries in. And I just went and got a little berry pick. That's just berries. That's all it is. And this really brightens it up. I think of the Grinch. That stole Christmas. When I do this wreath, it kind of has that feel to me. That kind of comical feel, I guess. All right. And we can either dip these or we can put a little bit of hot glue on them too if we need to. But we're also going to think about where our holes are and where we want this color to be. And we're going to just kind of stick them in places that we need holes filled or the color. And try to get that glue on that bottom part there. And I'm going to stick one there. Try and keep that glue off those other leaves as much as possible. It's going to dry clear, so that's okay if you can't. And you can put in as many berries as you need, or as few as you need as well. Try and get those on the underneath part where you're going to glue them. Stick one in that hole right there. And I think I need another one, smaller one up here. That hole. Isn't this really starting to fill out and look really neat? I think it all came from a soda bottle. Make sure your soda bottles, there's some different brands that have, they're not smooth, I guess is what I am trying to say. So you want to make sure that you have a smoother. And these leaves I think would really look cute on the Christmas candles that we're making out of the recycled toilet paper rolls and paper towel holders and bowl holders. So take a look at those. Those are a lot of fun. So we're getting that. I have one more and I don't know whether I want it here or up here. So I'm going to go ahead and put my bow on and we're going to check it. Make sure I've got both my tails pointed down. Where's my other tail? There it is. Alright. And see if we need any more leaves on it as well. I think that's going to cover that part up. So I'm going to put that little red part right there. And we're going to go ahead and let that dry. And then you're going to have a really cute recycled soda bottle Christmas wreath. Holly Christmas wreath. So I think that's a lot of fun. Jump over to miriamjoy.com and hit my YouTube button. And I'm doing some recycled projects this year for Christmas and have some other ideas for you to check out. Merry Christmas and God bless.